Hey there, Doris Bice here from the Utrecht Java User Group, and today I'm gonna show you a Vaadin Demo application for the Units of Measurement API JSR 385. This demo was created during our Adopt-a-JSR Day on the 1st of June 2019, where we hosted Spec Lead of JSR 385, Werner Keil. Now, why Vaadin, right? So the purpose of this demo is to actually showcase the units conversion of our unit API, right? So we wanted to use actually, or we didn't want to make our life that difficult. That's why we came up with Vaadin um, instead of just Java Swing, right? Or just because we wanted to try out Vaadin during our Adopt-a-JSR day. So, speaking of conversions between different units, what do we want? And let me start actually drawing here. What do we want for our web interface, right? More or less, we want a select box with a from value, right? So for example, we might want to convert kilos to watt. Then we need an extra select box, right? So that should be our to drop down, and here we might have grams, right? So we already have our two select boxes, and what else do we need? So we're going to convert from kilos to grams, and that implies we definitely need an extra text field where the user could enter the value which they would like to convert, right? So an input field for value, and of course an extra text field or a result field, if I may call it that way, which of course will display the conversion result to our user. Now, what are we missing? What is still pending? Of course, we do need an extra button here, or a button here. We don't have another button till now, which will perform all the magic. And of course, there are many different ways to implement or to create the desired user interface, but this is what we came up with. So right now I'm giving you a pinch of what you should expect to see in the code, and subsequently in the demo application that we're gonna be running uh, together afterwards. However, there is a catch here, right? When we do want to convert from a unit to a unit, we need to be careful that we need to always keep in mind that we should compare units of the same base unit. That's why we came up with an extra select box where we could hold the actual unit like meter here in our particular scenario, right? The actual SI unit, right? So here we should have our SI unit. So that's it more or less. Because otherwise, if we try to convert, so if we didn't have this field and we tried to convert from kilos to ohms, that would give us an incommensurable exception from our unit API, right? But enough for now. Let me just go directly to the actual meat, right? So let's go together to the code, right? So we talked about 5 fields. But before going there, let's first of all find where our Vaadin application is located. Of course, I am now in the YOM demos, which exists in our unit API or our units of measurement GitHub organization and repository, of course. I will share all the links afterwards. And what do we have on our Vaadin demo module? Of course, a Spring Boot application, so we need not explain anything more here, a conversion form and a conversion view. So well, we expect more or less to see the configuration of our view here using Vaadin, the configuration of our web interface using Vaadin. And this is what we see more or less, right? A conversion form, and a constructor of it, which is actually setting up the main window to use, of course, the conversion form. Nothing that much, no rocket science here, so let's go directly to our conversion form class, right? And what do we have here? Of course, as we said, we are configuring initially the text fields and the select boxes, and of course bit more, a few more configurations for our drop downs. And now let me stop a bit, and here we should mention this, right? So for our base units, of course, we do have our main select box, right, where we actually inject all the SI units. And in addition, we are adding an event listener here, just like we are doing with our when using Java Shrink, right? And what is the thing here? What is important here? The important thing is that, as I mentioned before, while drawing in the screen on the screen, our from and to select boxes should include the same uh, units, right? So based on the selection of the user, we are loading the same values for our from and to select boxes, and this happens via our set units of measurement method. So we are manually loading here all the corresponding to the base unit units, as you can see, and that's it more or less. And yeah, of course, a bit more of UI configurations here, which you can check afterwards. And what I would like to also mention is the convert listener, the convert button listener, which has a method here, of course, where the actual magic happens. Here we are using our APIs, our unit APIs, unit converter to perform the actual conversion. So here is where all the magic happens. And that's it more or less, right? So if I just go to run the application, let's see what's gonna happen, right? It's a very simple application, so it will not take that much time to load, right? Or at least it shouldn't. Now, we see that Spring already started, and yeah, we do have a running application at port 8080, right? So let's see what we're gonna see here. As I mentioned, 5 fields, one basic field holding the base units, of course, and depending on what I'm gonna select here, everything is gonna be updated here, right? So if I select then length, everything will be updated, as we've seen where in our conversion form, right? So for length, we should have all these values from mile to yards, right? So that's it, from mile to yards. And of course, a value input field and the result field. Of course, we can type here, but it is just a proof of concept, and our convert button. So just for demonstration purposes, because of course this is the reason we are recording this video, let's say we're talking about length, right? And I would like to convert some kilometers to meters, right? Of course, if I'm talking about a marathon, 42 kilometers are 42,000 meters, of course, right? So let me go the other way around, and yeah, that's it, right? Good. So 42 meters are 0.042 kilometers. Now, good up until here, I guess. So let's try a different example. And of course, one of our uh, favorite measures, or one of our favorite units is the degree Celsius. Of course, degree Celsius is not a good unit to use, but for demonstration purposes, let's see how many Kelvin, uh, 0 degrees Celsius temperature equals to. So 0 degrees Celsius equals to 273.15 Kelvin. And if we go the other way around, so how many degrees Celsius is 0 Kelvin? It's of course minus 273.15. And of course we can do other conversions here as well, or with 273.15 Kelvin. This is the amount of Fahrenheit, so around 32. That's it, more or less. I hope you enjoyed it. You will find all the necessary links in the description of this video. And thanks a lot for now. See you.